I have started a new channel called Lanila Tales. Please subscribe and watch my best stories there. Link is in the description. They say a man can outrun his past. They are wrong. Because today, while I was flipping an omelet, someone tried to poison me with the same venom my old assassin network once used to kill traitors. I did not scream, I did not panic. I simply sighed and muttered, "Not again." My name is Kale Nightwind, and for the record, I am not supposed to be alive. It was a slow morning at the Rusted Comet Tavern, a beaten-up diner on the edge of the Varos spaceport. Ships came and went, smugglers argued over stolen crates, aliens haggled over engine scrap, and somewhere in the distance, explosions echoed like background music. Exactly the kind of place someone like me could disappear. I had long abandoned my past as the silent leader of a galactic assassin network known as Black Sunday. Now I was hiding in plain sight, armed with nothing more than a frying pan and questionable humor. If Destiny had a comment section, I would have already typed a long complaint. The waitress, Kira, popped her head into the kitchen window. "Chef, table 5 wants extra plasma sauce on the cosmic noodles. They say it is too bland." Blasphemy. My cosmic noodles had once made a war criminal cry tears of joy. Then again, table 5 consisted of a group of boulder trolls, whose tongues were about as sensitive as meteor rock. I poured half a bottle of plasma sauce over the noodles and slid the bowl out with a grin. Then the door of the tavern slammed open. In walked a man wearing a silver guild badge on his chest, marking him as a recruiter from the Galactic Guild of Adventurers. I instantly froze. Guild recruiters did not come to places like this unless something had gone terribly wrong. "Kale Nightwind," he said, reading from a hollow pad. "You are under arrest." Arrest. That word triggered a reflex. My hand moved to the hidden knife strapped under my apron. Then he continued. "For crimes against good cooking and interplanetary taste buds. You are hereby sentenced to join the Galactic Guild's expedition team as our official cook." I blinked. "What?" "The Guild has reviewed hundreds of reports about your cooking. Your flavor levels are statistically lethal. Congratulations. You are hired." That was how my peaceful, low-profile life ended, destroyed not by assassins, but by food reviews. 2 hours later, I found myself glaring at a transport ship painted with the Guild's ridiculous motto: adventure, honor, heroism. My first thought was that whoever designed this ship did not understand the power of intimidation. My second thought was that joining would put me in the spotlight, and the spotlight would get me killed. But there was a problem. I had seen the Guild recruiter's hollow pad earlier. It had a second encrypted message under my name. Confirmed ex-Black Sun operative. Capture alive. Do not engage. So someone inside the Guild knew who I really was. Someone dangerous. And the quickest way to find them was to go inside. The ship ramp lowered and 3 figures stood waiting. I studied them quickly. If this was a team, we were all doomed. The first was a tall reptilian warrior woman sharpening a sword that looked big enough to slice a shuttle in half. Her armor was dented, scorched, and covered in someone else's blood. She gave me a vicious grin. "You better cook meat." "I am Zara. I crush things. Do not get in my way." Delightful. The second was a tiny squirrel-like alien wearing a backpack twice his size. Wires, glowing cubes, and suspicious tubes dangled from it. He grinned and waved cheerfully, one eye twitching. "I am Pip. I invent stuff. Most of it explodes. On purpose. Usually. Probably. Wonderful." The third stood silent behind them. A human woman in a black coat with silver hair, cold eyes, and a presence that seemed to shift the air. She gave no name. She watched me without blinking. I recognized that dead calm expression. A killer who had learned to stay very still. The Guild recruiter cleared his throat. "This is your new squad. Welcome aboard." We lifted off soon after. The ship rattled like it was being held together by duct tape and hope. Zara tossed her sword aside and crossed her arms. "I do not trust you, cook. You smell like danger." I raised an eyebrow. "And you smell like someone who has never heard of showers." she growled. Pip giggled. The silent silver-haired woman said nothing. The ship AI announced turbulence ahead, but I suspected that was Pip's fault. We landed at the guild headquarters, a massive floating citadel surrounded by docking bays and holographic banners. The main hall was full of warriors, engineers, mages, alien fighters, and loud egos. Most of them laughed when they heard I was a cook. That was fine. Underestimation kept me alive. On my first day, I was assigned kitchen duty. They expected me to make stew. I made a dish from my homeworld instead. Flame-seared starbeast ribs with nebula glaze. When the aroma drifted across the hall, conversation stopped mid-sentence. Someone dropped a sword on their foot and did not notice. Even Zara sniffed the air like a hungry wolf. I caught her staring with reverence. I smirked. Victory. Then someone tried to kill me. I noticed him near the end of dinner. A hooded figure at the far table. Too still. Wrong posture for a guild member. When he raised a cup to drink, I saw a tattoo on his wrist. A black sun with a bleeding center. My old network. Impossible. They were supposed to be gone. I made sure of it. The hooded man met my eyes. He stood and headed for the exit. I followed. He moved fast through the lower corridors. Silent feet. Assassin training. When I turned a corner, a blade flashed toward me. I caught his wrist and twisted, slamming him into the wall. He was good, but I had trained better monsters than him. Who sent you? I growled. He laughed, a brittle sound. The ghost is coming for you. The black sun rises again. Before I could stop him, he bit down on something hidden in his tooth. Poison capsule. Same poison they used on me this morning. He collapsed at my feet. My heart pounded. The ghost. That name was erased long ago. Buried in blood and lies. No one should know it. No one alive. A shadow moved behind me. I turned. It was the silver-haired woman from my squad, staring at the body. You are no ordinary cook, she said quietly. Her voice was low, calm, dangerous. Who are you really? I stared back, expression unchanged. Just a man who wants to make breakfast without getting stabbed. She did not believe me. No one ever does. She stepped close enough that only I could hear. You are being hunted, she whispered. And you are not the only one with secrets. Then she walked away. I looked down at the dead assassin. My peaceful life was over. Someone had revived the Black Sun, someone was coming for me. And worst of all, I had just joined a guild full of people who thought I was just a cook. The guild called the meeting a mission briefing, but it looked more like a circus held inside a spaceship. Someone had spilled noodles on the holomap. Pip was trying to attach a plasma booster to his chair. Zara kept sharpening her sword even though it was already sharp enough to shave atoms. And the mysterious silver-haired woman simply watched everything with calm suspicion. I was beginning to question my life choices again. Maybe I should have stayed at the tavern. Maybe frying eggs was not a bad destiny. The guild commander appeared via hollow projection and began speaking in his usual dramatic tone, the kind that tried too hard to sound important. Team Sigma, he declared, meaning us since we were unlucky recipients of that name. Your task is to deliver critical medicine to the quarantine planet Delora 9. A plague outbreak has destabilized the region and caused panic. The medicine must arrive within 48 hours or millions could die. Zara grinned in excitement. So a glorious battle awaits us. No, Commander said flatly. You will avoid combat at all costs. This is a humanitarian mission. Zara's face fell. Pip raised a hand. Question. Are we allowed to blow up anything along the way purely for scientific and educational reasons? No. Define blow up. No explosions at all. Pip slumped into his seat. I sighed. This was going to be a long trip. After the briefing, I headed to the cargo bay where medical crates were being loaded onto our transport ship. The crates were tightly sealed and stamped with guild clearance. I lifted one to check the weight and noticed something odd. There was faint static interference coming from inside, Far too strong for a crate that was supposed to contain vials of medicine. I knelt and listened. Beneath the hum of the engines I heard it. A faint rhythmic pulse. Too steady. Too artificial. A tracking signal. Someone had planted a beacon on our cargo. If assassins found it, they could follow us anywhere. I casually activated a kitchen scanner from my apron pocket. Most cooks did not carry scanning tech, but most cooks were not fugitives from their own assassin network. The reading confirmed it. Hidden beneath the medicine was advanced tech using encrypted coordinates. Definitely Black Sun work. I looked around. No one else had noticed. Good. If I warned the guild, they would start asking questions. Questions led to attention. Attention led to bullets. I decided to keep this quiet and remove the device once we left orbit. We boarded shortly after. The ship was small, barely large enough for cargo, a crew of 4, and an anxious cook who used to command killers. Zara immediately claimed the biggest seat. Pip strapped himself in upside down because he said it helped him think. The silver-haired empath sat near the back, saying nothing as usual. I sat at the small galley area, checking supplies. Food calmed me. Knives calmed me more. We took off smoothly, leaving guild headquarters behind. I pretended to check spice inventory while I secretly ran calculations in my head. If Black Sun operatives were tracking me, I needed to locate the beacon before signal triangulation. If I did not, we would get ambushed. And none of these people were ready for that. Pip floated over, doing a slow spiral mid-air. Hey Kale, random question, why do you always move like you are expecting someone to attack you? Habit. Bad habit or cool habit? The kind that keeps your head attached to your body. Nice. The ship cruised through hyperspace. For a while it was peaceful. Too peaceful. Silence has a way of making you uneasy when you know the universe wants you dead. Zara approached with a giant slab of meat in her hands. Cook this, she demanded. That is not meat. That is a frozen slab of unknown alien biomass. It is meat. It is glowing. Good meat glows. I stared at her. She stared back. Eventually I sighed and took it. I seasoned and seared it using a high-heat plasma grill. The smell attracted Pip, who floated over and started sniffing the air with pure reverence. Even the silent one glanced over. I plated the glowing steak and handed it to Zara. She chomped into it, chewed, and then paused. Her eyes widened. Her voice cracked softly. This taste reminds me of home. Her face shifted for just a moment. Something vulnerable flickered in her eyes before she quickly hid it and grunted. This is acceptable. Barely. She walked away chewing happily. I leaned back and almost allowed myself to relax. That was when the alarm started. Incoming ships. 3 unidentified vessels approaching fast. They are not broadcasting guild signals. I raced to the cockpit. Through the viewport I saw 3 jagged ships armed to the teeth, engines roaring like hungry beasts. Their hulls carried a sigil I recognized. A black circle with jagged wings. Void runners. Space pirates. Ruthless. Efficient. Usually bought by someone who wants something taken in a hurry. We are too far from any trade lanes, Zara said. Pirates do not roam here. Someone sent them. She was right. Someone had tipped off the pirates. Someone knew about the cargo. Someone wanted me dead. Pip was already strapping explosive barrels together. Battle mode. No explosions, Pip. Very small explosions. No. He deflated. The ships opened fire, and the hull rocked violently. Energy beams scorched across the shield. Our pilot AI shouted evasive maneuvers and dove between debris fields. We cannot outrun them, Zara said. We fight. No heavy weapons, I snapped. We need to disable them without destroying them. If the crates rupture, we lose the medicine. Zara snarled. Then what do you suggest? Cook throw food at them? Actually, that is not the worst idea, I replied and sprinted to the galley. Zara blinked. Pip squealed. The empath tilted her head, curious now. I grabbed bottles, spices, compressed gas canisters, anything I could weaponize. Cooking teaches you to adapt. Assassination teaches you to think 2 steps ahead. Combine both and you get chaos in sauce form. I filled thermal canisters with plasma chili extract strong enough to melt engine plating. Pip watched in awe. Are we cooking or killing both? I said. We reached the airlock and Zara opened it just enough for us to fire launch tubes. We loaded the makeshift chili bombs and launched toward the pirate ships. They splattered across their hulls and ignited on contact, setting off chain reactions along fuel lines and vent shafts. One ship spun out of control. Another lost power. The last pirate vessel docked forcibly. Their boarding crew cut through our hull. Zara roared and charged, sword swinging. Pip rolled explosives along the floor like metal marbles. I grabbed my knives, old weapons disguised as kitchen tools. The first pirate lunged. I sidestepped, slit his armor strap, twisted his wrist, and sent him flying. 2 more rushed me. They were sloppy, greedy, predictable. A few cuts later they hit the ground unconscious. One pirate managed to reach the cargo bay. He tore open a crate. Medicine spilled everywhere. He dug deeper until he found what he was really looking for, a metal pod hidden at the bottom. The beacon. Just as I thought. He lifted it to his ear, speaking into a hidden calm. We found it. The ghost will. He never finished. A throwing blade struck him in the neck. I froze. That was not my blade. I turned. The empath stood at the cargo entrance, arm outstretched, sleeve drifting from the motion. She had thrown the blade with professional precision. Too precise. She locked eyes with me. The air inside the ship felt heavier after the battle with the pirates, as if the walls themselves had absorbed fear and suspicion. No one spoke much during the emergency repairs. Pip patched hull damage while humming to himself like nothing unusual had happened, which either meant he was fearless or completely insane. Zara sharpened her sword in rhythmic, controlled strokes, her reptilian eyes flicking toward me every few minutes as if she expected me to suddenly explode into a confession. The silver-haired woman who had thrown the blade that killed the pirate stayed silent, waiting for me to speak first. I did not. Silence makes people uncomfortable. Silence makes people slip. When the ship finally docked at the orbital trade hub Null Station 42, the mission appeared back on schedule. We had the medicine. We had not died. By guild standards, that counted as a massive success. But something darker had begun, and everyone felt it even if they did not understand it. The black sun symbol branded in smoke from that message cube still burned in my memory. Someone had revived the assassin network I destroyed years ago. Someone wanted to remind me I failed. Before delivering the medicine to the Laura 9, we were ordered to restock supplies at Null Station. The place was a chaotic nest of merchants, smugglers, gamblers, and wannabe bounty hunters. Neon lights flicked across metallic streets, engines roared from landing docks, and the smell of fried alien food clung to the recycled air. It felt familiar. Too familiar. This was the kind of place where a man like me used to arrange contracts. Payments in blood. Deals sealed with silence. Zara led our group through the marketplace with all the subtlety of an angry meteor. She pushed people aside, glared down anyone who stared too long, and acted like she owned the station. Pip jumped from stall to stall with hyperactive curiosity, buying strange gadgets that looked far too unstable to exist legally. The silver-haired woman stayed close to me. Her name was Luna. She finally told me that during the walk, but nothing more. No surname. No origin. Just Luna. She moved with the grace of a predator, and the stillness of someone hiding pain. Her eyes saw too much. She spoke little, but when she did her words cut deeper than any blade. You knew that pirate would find the hidden pod, she said. That was not a question. You let him expose it before killing him. I corrected lightly. You killed him. If I had not, would you have let him speak? No. Then why wait? Because I needed confirmation. That name, he said? The ghost. I had to hear it from someone who believed it enough to die saying it. Her voice lowered. Who is he? Someone worse than me. Someone who should not exist anymore. She studied my face as we walked. You fear him. I fear what he can make me become. Before she could push further, Zara interrupted. Enough whispering. We are on a mission, not a date. I replied dryly. If this were a date, I would have thrown myself out the airlock by now. Pip popped up beside us with greasy noodles stuffed in his cheeks. Are we dating? What is dating? Is it like combat with feelings? Zara snorted. You would not survive a date, Pip. I ignored them and scanned the crowd. Something was wrong. The station was too calm. People avoided eye contact. No one haggled. No one laughed. That was not how Null Station worked. The silence was too organized. Fear held the station in invisible chains. We passed a vendor stall guarded by mercenaries wearing dark cloaks. They watched everyone but pretended to be casual. Their stance was too ready. Their hands too close to their weapons. I recognized modified pulse rifles. Black Sun Tech. My chest tightened. Keep walking, I murmured. Zara frowned. Why? Because someone is hunting for something. Or someone. And silence followed us here. We reached the supply depot where guild cargo pods were stored. Crew workers moved crates under strict security. Inside, I saw a long case marked experimental restricted clearance. I did not like surprises and I liked unknown weapons even less. Before I could get closer, a depot officer approached. Guild credentials, he requested. Zara flashed the team badge. He scanned it, cleared us, and walked back to his crew. But something about his posture bothered me. His gaze had lingered too long on Luna. Suspicion tightened my gut again. We loaded rations and energy cells. Pip attached a new explosive coolant coil to his toolkit and giggled to himself. Probably going to blow off the back of our ship, but I had bigger concerns. As we turned to leave, a tiny metal drone zipped just above our heads. It paused mid-air as if scanning us. Its lens rotated and clicked 3 times. Then it shot away before I could grab it. That was a Black Sun recon drone, I said. Someone here knows I am alive. They are closing in. Zara flexed her claws. Let them come. No. We need to keep moving. We have a mission to finish. Luna spoke softly. Your mission is survival. Mine is answers. I looked at her. I never asked? Why are you here, Luna? Her eyes darkened. Because someone told me I would find the man who broke the Black Sun. I stopped walking. My fingers tightened around the bag I carried. I asked, who told you that? She whispered one name. Cypher. The name knocked the air out of my lungs. Cypher. My old ally. The only one who disappeared after Black Sun fell. A brilliant hacker who controlled shadows from behind the net. If Cypher sent her to find me, then something catastrophic was coming. Before I could respond, the ground exploded behind us. Smoke roared outward. Screams shattered the air. Cracks spidered across the metal street. Pip yelped and jumped behind me. Zara roared and pulled her sword. Luna moved into a defensive stance. Dust swirled and figures emerged from the smoke. Not pirates. Assassins. Wearing Black Sun masks. They surrounded us. Thin, quiet, trained. No wasted motion. Professional killers. My killers. One stepped forward. He spoke with a metallic voice. Kale Nightwind. The ghost sends his regards. They attacked. Zara charged first, swinging her massive blade and cleaving through 2 assassins in one strike. Pip hurled mini-bombs that burst into blinding light. Luna closed her eyes and unleashed a psychic wave that shattered the minds of 2 fighters. But more came. Too many. One assassin rushed me. I caught his blade with mine and twisted. He fell silent. Another came from behind, but I ducked, cut his hamstring, and disarmed him. Every move I made felt too natural, too effortless. I had buried this part of me, but it clawed its way out again like a beast starving for blood. Then I felt it. Something wrong. A rhythm in the fight that did not belong. Someone was watching. Someone guiding these attackers. Someone waiting for me to slip. A sniper shot cracked from the upper rail. It hit one of the assassins. Not me. A warning shot. The assassins suddenly retreated, vanishing into smoke with silent precision. They could have kept fighting. They did not. They were testing us. Testing me. The blast doors of the station's security bay opened and guards poured out, scanning for threats. People screamed and scattered. But by then the assassins were gone as if erased by shadows. Zara seethed. More cowards. Why run? They did not run, I said. They delivered a message. Luna stepped closer. What message? The engines of our ship rumbled like a restless beast as we left Null Station behind. Silence filled the cabin, heavy enough to suffocate thoughts. Zara paced with coiled tension, sword still stained with blood from the ambush. Pip sat on the edge of his seat, fingers twitching as if debating whether to build a bomb or hug someone. Luna sat perfectly still, yet her presence felt louder than anything else. She watched me without speaking, waiting for answers I was not ready to give. The ghost. The note he left echoed inside my head like a death sentence. Run all you like, brother. I will find you. Every word was a blade, carving open scars I thought had healed. I had once been the master of shadows, the one who commanded the black sun. But the ghost was proof that my sins were not buried deep enough. Someone had taken control of my fallen empire and resurrected it. Someone was using my past to hunt me. We still had a mission, and the medicine had to reach Laura 9. But that was not our destination now. I could not lead these people blind into a war they did not understand. I needed answers, and there was only one place left in the galaxy where I could find them. Change of route, I ordered from the cockpit. Zara growled. We do not change missions. We have orders from the guild. The guild will receive their medicine. But first we are going to Hades Drift. She froze. Even Pip stopped fidgeting. Luna looked at me, unreadable. Hades Drift, Zara muttered. That place is cursed. No ships go near it. That is suicide. Not suicide. Necessity. Why the Pip asked nervously. Sounds like a place where my inventions get haunted. Because that is where the Black Sun died, I said. And if the ghost really returned, the truth will be buried there. Luna understood first. That was your last stronghold. The place you destroyed. I nodded once. The old Kale who built the Brotherhood of Assassins had vanished in that final war. But the ruins still held secrets. And myths. And ghosts of their own. We entered deep space hours later. The star charts faded into darkness as we crossed into the drift. The region lay hidden behind collapsing stars and shattered planets, like a graveyard frozen in time. Radiation storms rippled like wounded spirits. Communications died. Navigation failed. The galaxy called this place forbidden. I called it home once. You really built a base in this nightmare? Zara asked, staring out the viewport. The guild had entire fleets searching for Black Sunday. We needed a home no sane person would enter. This was perfect. Pip shivered. I am not scared. I am respectfully uncomfortable. Luna whispered. I can feel something here. Pain. Remorse. Enough lost souls to drown a world. The ship pushed through electrical storms and debris fields. At last, a massive dead asteroid loomed ahead, carved with spires of obsidian metal. In its center, half buried like a skull in stone, was a fortress. My fortress. The Cinder Keep, I said under my breath. We landed on a fractured platform outside. The airlocks opened with a hiss. Cold air greeted us, tasting of ash. Zara took point, Pip hovered behind her, Luna followed silently. I moved last, scanning shadows. No movement. No life. Just memories clawing back to life. Black Sun operatives were trained here, Luna said softly. This was where you made killers. No. This was where I tried to build a system. A system that could remove tyrants, warlords, criminals. By replacing them with assassins, Zara snapped. By ending them before they created more war, I shot back. The galaxy calls it murder. But every empire is built on murder. We just stopped pretending. She stared at me with burning eyes. You sound proud of what you did. I am not proud. But I will not lie and pretend I regret stopping the monsters I did. She stepped toward me. Do you think that makes you righteous? No. It makes me necessary. Her fist tightened, but Luna placed a hand on her arm. Not now. We pushed deeper inside. The halls were dust-coated but undamaged. Security turrets were dead. No power. No traps. Too easy. This place gives me goosebumps, Pip muttered, clutching a gadget. If shadows could hold grudges, this is where they would live. In the command chamber, I powered the terminal using an emergency generator. Screens flickered to life one after another. Logs. Missions. Reports. All sealed. Except one file flashing red. Incoming message, Pip read aloud. Date 6 cycles after Black Sun collapse. Play it, I said. The screen opened to static. Then a hooded figure appeared. The voice was distorted but the posture was familiar. If you are seeing this, Kale, then I am already dead. The room went still. I knew that voice. Cypher. My old friend. The one person who knew how to break every system. The one who protected secrets no one else could uncover. He looked tired. Broken. The ghost is not who you think. The ghost is not your enemy. The ghost is what we created. Cypher leaned closer. You never knew the truth, Kale. Black Sun was never yours. You only led what someone else built. The ghost was always the true heir. You tried to destroy the organization, but you only burned the surface. Something deeper survived. He hesitated, pain in his eyes. There is one file buried here. One truth buried so deep you erased it from your own memory. Find it before they find you. Find it before he does. 01 Protocol. The message cut out. Zara looked confused. Pip looked terrified. Luna looked at me. But her eyes held more than curiosity now. They held fear. You built something you did not even control, she said. I clenched my jaw. That is impossible. I dismantled every asset. Destroyed every archive. Killed anyone who tried to rise again. Luna moved closer. Maybe you missed someone. No. I finished it. I buried the Black Sun. Zara spoke low. Then why is it back? Before I could answer, alarms blared. Motion sensors triggered. A screen lit up showing shadowy figures entering the keep. A dozen. Maybe more. Contact. They followed us, Zara growled. No. They were already here, I said. Luna stepped beside me. Then someone survived your purge. The monitors switched. A new feed appeared. A dark room. A single chair. Someone was sitting in it. A man. He slowly raised his head. His face was hidden in shadow, but I recognized the mask. A carved white face without eyes or a mouth. The face of the ghost. The speakers crackled. Hello, Kale. I have waited a long time. My blood ran cold. You cannot be here, I whispered. You cannot exist. He tilted his head slightly, like he was smiling behind the mask. And yet here I am. You took everything from me. Now I will take everything from you. Zara growled and stepped forward. Show yourself, coward. The ghost ignored her. Come, Kale. Come to the heart of what you tried to destroy. Come find the truth you are so afraid of. The feed cut off. I turned toward the vault doors at the end of the command hall. The 01 Protocol. A secret buried so deep even Cypher warned me not to uncover it. Luna spoke softly. You know what this means. Yes. We walk into a trap, Zara said. We do, I replied. Good, she smiled savagely. I hate running. Pip squeaked. But what if we die? Then die loudly, I said, and started walking. Because running is over. The past was calling. And I was done hiding. The doors to the lower vault of Cinder Keep opened with a grinding scream, metal groaning like it remembered the violence sealed behind it. Dust drifted out in cold spirals as if the darkness inside exhaled. I had not seen this corridor in years, yet every step felt like a memory carved in glass. Zara tightened her grip on her sword as she walked beside me, muscles coiled, eyes sharp. Pip stayed close behind, his usual chatter gone. Luna moved silently at my side, gaze locked ahead, as if her mind sensed something even worse than what we could see. We descended the spiral ramp into a chamber far beneath the fortress. Massive walls of black steel towered over us, lined with empty weapon racks, data vaults, and containment cells shattered from within. This was once the heart of the Black Sun Order. Now it was a tomb. Except tombs do not bleed. My hand brushed the wall and came back slick. When I looked down, I saw wet footprints ahead of us, streaks smeared in fresh blood. Someone else is here, Zara said quietly. Not someone, I replied. Him. Lights crackled to life ahead. A figure stood at the center of the chamber, waiting. He wore a black coat over a suit of combat weave, but it was the mask that froze my blood. Smooth, white, featureless. The face of the ghost. For years it had been a whisper, a threat used to frighten traitors. A myth. But now mythology breathed. He stood still as stone. Kale, he said, voice distorted through a modulator. You finally came home. I stepped forward slowly, rage twisting my insides. No more games. Show me your face. He tilted his head slightly. And why would I do that? Because I already know who you are. Zara shifted beside me, eyebrows lifting in surprise. Luna watched carefully. Pip swallowed hard. The ghost let a long silence hang between us, then reached up with one hand and removed the mask. Every breath left my lungs. My entire world shattered in an instant. It was Riven. My little brother. The brother I buried 13 years ago. The brother who died in the fire that destroyed our home. The brother I swore I failed to protect. He stood alive in front of me, eyes full of fire and hatred. Hello, brother, he said as if we had just met again for dinner. Did you miss me? You are dead, I whispered. I saw you die. I buried you myself. Riven laughed, a sound so cold it no longer belonged to the boy I once knew. No, Kale. You buried a story. Once someone told you. The truth was stolen from you long before that day. My voice shook, but not from fear. From fury. How are you alive? The flames that burned our home did not kill me, he said. Black Sun found me. They took me. They trained me. They made me into what you tried so hard to become. No. I destroyed Black Sun before they could recruit children. Before they could use people like puppets. Riven's smile twisted. Oh, they did not recruit me. They nurtured me. Because I am the rightful heir of Black Sunday. And you, Kale. You were just a tool. A hound they unleashed to wipe away rivals. I shook my head. Lies. I tore that monster apart from the inside. I ended it. You ended nothing. You only cleaned the throne so I could sit on it. Zara snarled and stepped forward. Enough talk. I will crush him. Riven did not even look at her. For your sake, mutant, stay out of family business. Zara roared and charged. But before she could reach him, shadows moved. Assassins emerged from every direction, stepping out of the darkness like ghosts. We were surrounded. Zara swung her blade in a brutal arc and took down two instantly, but more closed in around her. I leapt forward and blocked an incoming strike aimed at Zara, kicking the assassin back. Fight to escape, I shouted. Do not try to win. No one told me we were losing, yet Zara yelled and decapitated another attacker. Pip rolled forward and unleashed blinding flares, followed by shrapnel charges that tore through enemy armor. Luna stood like a storm, psychic energy flaring around her, freezing assassins mid-attack. But they kept coming, endless, relentless. Riven just watched, calm and patient. As if this was not a battle but a conversation. You could have come home, Kale, he said. We could have rebuilt together. Black Sun could have been ours again. I answered with a blade thrown straight at his heart. He dodged effortlessly. You were always too slow to understand, he taunted. The fury inside me boiled over. I charged Riven, blades drawn. Metal clashed. Sparks flew. We fought like brothers forged for war, every strike fueled by years of pain. He moved like me. Faster. More precise. Our blades met in a fury of steel and lightning. You let them burn our family, he shouted. I yelled back, you were supposed to be dead. And you were supposed to save me. His rage crashed into me like a storm. Every strike came at impossible speed. I barely blocked, my arms shaking. Then he feinted left, spun, and kicked my chest. Pain exploded through my ribs and I slammed into the ground. I will destroy everything you protect, he said coldly. Your guild. Your friends. Even this pathetic team you pretend to care about. Over my dead body I growled. That is the plan. He lunged forward, blade raised for the kill. Luna screamed behind me and in an instant she was between us. Riven's blade plunged into her side. Time froze. She gasped, eyes wide with shock. The strike was meant for me. She took it instead. No. Riven pulled back, watching her fall. The blade left a trail of blood across her coat. I caught her before she hit the ground. Luna, look at me. Her voice trembled, but she still tried to smile. You were right, Kale. He is more dangerous than you feared. Stay with me, I said. You are not dying here. Not because of me. She grabbed my wrist. You still do not understand. He does not want to kill you. He wants to break you. I looked up at Riven, hatred burning hotter than fire. You will pay for this. You have nothing left to threaten me with, he said. The game is already over. You just do not see the board. Zara cut down another assassin and shouted, Kale, we are outnumbered. We need to leave now. Pip fired another pulse blast and yelled, I am almost out of ammo. And explosives. And emotional stability. I lifted Luna into my arms as alarms blared through the fortress. Explosive charges began detonating. The entire keep was rigged to collapse. Riven stepped back into the shadows and spoke one last time. Run, Kale. Run again. That is all you are good at. I glared at him as fire rained from the ceiling. I am done running. I swear I will find you. And when I do, I will end this. Riven slipped away like smoke. Then he was gone. Zara hacked a path through the remaining assassins and we sprinted through falling debris. Pip triggered emergency thrusters on his boots and hovered behind us while screaming in terror. The keep collapsed around us as we reached the exit platform. Our ship waited, engines hot. We dove aboard right as the entire fortress crumbled in a storm of fire and stone. The doors sealed. The ship blazed into space. I knelt beside Luna. Her breath was weak. Her skin pale. Her hand trembled as she reached for me. You have to stop him, Kale, she whispered. Or he will burn everything. Her eyes closed. Her pulse slowed. I held her hand. I will stop him, I promised. Whatever it takes. Outside the window, the cinder keep died in an explosion brighter than a falling star. Inside me, something darker came alive. Time passed slowly after the destruction of the cinder keep, measured not by hours but by breaths of grief that refused to fade. We made it back to guild headquarters in silence, carrying more than just the scars of battle. We carried the truth. The ghost was real. He had an army. And he was my brother. Luna survived, but only just. The medical wing locked her in a cylindrical cryo-healing chamber, slowing her heartbeat while nanites worked to repair the damage from Riven's blade. The doctors said she would live. They did not know when she would wake. I stood by the chamber more than I stood anywhere else. Watching her float in that frozen glow made me feel like all the air had left the world. Pip visited often. Zara came only once. Not because she did not care. Because she did not know how to face it. Feelings were her enemy. Rage was her language. Rumors swept through the guild quickly. Team Sigma attacked at a pirate hub. Enemy assassins inside guild space. Cinder Keep discovered but destroyed. Someone whispered my name in every hallway. Someone called me a traitor. Someone else said I was an undercover guild agent. Someone else called me a killer. They were all right. I tried to stay away from guild council politics, but they dragged me in anyway. Commander Darius summoned me to the central chamber where guild leaders stood around a wide circular table made of obsidian metal. Their eyes tracked me like I was a ticking bomb. Our guild lost 26 members to the ghost assassins, said Councillor Breen. Cinderkeep collapsed. A secret war is coming. And Ukale Nightwind brought it to us. I met his glare without flinching. I did not bring it. I exposed it. You were blind to an enemy that was already inside your walls. Do not lecture us, Breen snapped. You lied about who you are. You hid your past from us. Correction. I hid my past from your paperwork. I owe you my service. Not my diary. Commander Darius raised a hand and cut through the tension. Enough. We cannot afford division when the ghost is preparing something catastrophic. We have intelligence that he is gathering forces. Mercenaries. Crime bosses. Rogue fleets. His assassins are infiltrating every major power. If we do not act now, he will dismantle the guild piece by piece. Then send your strongest and end him, Breen said. Darius shook his head. We do not know where he is hiding. And even if we find him, he has already proven he is always one step ahead. Breen pointed at me. Then we use him. He built Black Sun once. He knows how they think. I stared back coldly. That is not a strategy. That is a funeral plan. Commander Darius looked at me. Kale. If you know anything that could help us find him, now is the time. I did not hesitate. I already found him. And I know what he wants. Every counselor turned toward me. He wants me, I said. And he wants to burn every trace of who I was. And who I could become. Zara stepped forward from the shadows near the door. Then let us hunt him. This is not a hunt, I said. It is a war. And we are losing because we are still playing by rules. Breen scoffed. And what do you suggest we do, throw honor out the window? No. I said. I suggest we get smarter. I stepped into the center of the room. We fight shadows with shadows. Traps with traps. If you want to stop the ghost, you do not chase him. You make him come to you. And how do you plan to do that? Darius asked. I gave the only answer left. I will rebuild Black Sun. The council erupted in outrage. Voices clashed. Accusations hit like blades. Traitor. Madness. Impossible. Commander Darius silenced them with a stare. Explain. Riven wants to erase me. So I will become the one thing he fears. The only thing he cannot control. I will take back the network he stole piece by piece. I will make his assassins turn on him. I will destroy his army from within. And when he has nowhere left to hide, I will end him myself. Breen shouted above the noise. You expect us to sanction a criminal empire? You expect us to trust you? No. I said coldly. I expect you to survive this war. With or without me. But you know I am right. The ghost moves in the dark. So we drag him into our darkness. For a long moment, no one spoke. Then Commander Darius nodded. Do it. But if you betray the guild, I will kill you myself. I walked out without answering. Hours later I returned to the hangar. Zara was waiting for me, arms crossed. Pip stood beside her, goggles on his forehead, and a half-eaten ration bar in his hand. So now we are criminals again, Zara said. I will need a bigger sword. We are not criminals, I said. We are whatever we need to be to win. Pip smiled nervously. So what is the plan, boss? First we build a network. Information. Resources. Safe houses. Alliances. But you said we are not criminals, Zara pointed out. We are not. We are thieves stealing back a future. We are hunters hunting evil in its den. We are not criminals. Then what are we? Zara asked. I turned to look at them. We are ghosts. The ship engines roared to life. A new war began. Days blurred into missions. Missions blurred into battles. Every move we made was one step into enemy territory. I met old allies who once swore loyalty to me. Some rejoined me. Some tried to kill me. I gave them a choice. A new purpose. Or a grave. Pip built things that should not exist and called them upgrades. Zara fought anyone who stood in our way and called it exercise. Every victory we won sent a message. Black sun rises no more. Dark sun belongs to no one. Kale Nightwind has returned. But at night, when silence took hold, I went back to the med bay and sat beside Luna. I talked even though she could not hear me. You said he wants to break me, I told her one night. But he will fail. Because I am not fighting for revenge anymore. I am fighting for something more. Then one night while I stood there watching the healing chamber, her fingers moved. Not much. A twitch. A signal. Her pulse accelerated. Her eyes opened slightly beneath the glass. Kale, she whispered, voice weak but alive. I exhaled, something warm burning in my chest for the first time in a long time. Welcome back, I said. She looked at me, face pale but determined. Did he strike again? No, I said. But he will. And when he does, we will be ready. She managed a small smile. Then let us begin. The guild hall lights flickered suddenly. A small red envelope slid under the door. I picked it up. No address. No seal. No signature. Just one message inside. This is only the beginning. The real war has not started. When you are ready, come find me. Riven. I felt Zara step behind me, reading over my shoulder. Finally, she said. Something fun. I folded the note and slipped it into my coat. The ghost wanted a war. He was about to get one.